It just starts right away without any ground bait. Simply walk to the spot, tested 3 different flavors, and it starts immediately. What am I supposed to do? The fish are simply there. You cannot defend yourself against carp. At Bear Lake, it always works. It is simply crazy. You go to Bear Lake, you throw in 3 corn kernels, and all 3 work. If you catch nothing at Bear Lake, well, then somehow you are simply doing something wrong, or you just cannot fish. Something is not right there. Right now, I am running straight to the very first well-known spot, one of the 3 important spots here at Bear Lake. I just throw in 3 different corn kernels without ground bait, and boom, in the first minute, already 4 fish immediately. Now, right away, 2 more after that. So, it is completely crazy. You simply have to throw anything in here and it starts biting. So come here to Bear Lake and throw anything in here. Something always works. And if nothing works for a moment, well then you simply take a few other baits again. It is not like we do not have an insanely large selection of corn kernels. We can test between an incredible number of different flavors and simply try out what the fish want right now. Right now, I currently have strawberry red on here. Here I have raspberry on. The next one is on coconut cream. Then here again, raspberry. Then here again, coconut cream. And then here again, raspberry went in. And now something is happening here again. Let us look again directly at strawberry. And over there, the coconut cream. That is already going again. So, one little fish after another. Without ground bait. I have not done anything yet. I cannot defend myself against it. The fish are simply coming. What am I supposed to do? Damn it, too many fish. Something here is crazy, right? Next fish. Really nice size too. Good weight. Good price, then of course from the silver. Boom, the next fish here. Coconut cream. Next thing. Well, what do I do now? Do I throw ground bait in there now or not? If this works so well, I do not need ground bait, then I simply leave it out. I'm now simply catching here with all the baits that currently work, 1 fish after another. And as long as this keeps running here, that is good. And when I am finished here, and if suddenly nothing bites anymore, then I simply go to the next spot. It's that simple. Boom, boom. Then I simply test exactly the same way at the next spot, with the same baits or with other baits. So, 6 minutes now, here at the spot, already 9 fish caught. It can gladly continue like this without anything special. Let us quickly take a look here into the setup. So I am here with a number 1 hook, simply with a pop-up rig and a corn kernel. Nothing else. Of course, the corn kernel with the corresponding dip, and that is already it. In this case here, of course, strawberry, and it's already beeping again immediately. So here the next fish is already on. Then we have raspberry again here. And here is the 3rd version with coconut and cream. And there again something is already on. So here 1 fish after another. Well, this is of course how you can very easily make a bit of silver. And of course also XP on the side. And additional percentages for bottom fishing. Boom. And here again already the next one. So again here on the strawberry. Here's something a little smaller. Yes, almost crucian carp trophy. We gladly take that as well. So 1 fish after another without the spot being ground baited in any way. One of the 3 important spots here at Bear Lake. You have to know them. If you do not know this yet, if you do not yet know how to fish here, take a look into the entire playlist about bottom fishing, how to become a carp angler. These are super important basic informations that you need in the game, so that you simply know where you fish, how you fish. And just as important, the understanding of how to fish a spot like this, what you are actually testing there, or what effect the ground bait has. There is also a separate playlist about that with the deep information about what makes the game what it is. A super essential playlist with all the important information. And here it continues directly again. Yes, crazy. I absolutely did not expect that. I had prepared myself that I would first test nicely for about 15 minutes and test different flavors. But if every fish here immediately bites on every flavor, then that is of course completely insane. I gladly take that. Yes, and if the fish here becomes smaller soon, then I will test new flavors again. Right now, I am still fishing with sweet and fruity flavors, and I have not yet tested the fishy or protein-based flavors. Of course, I still have to try that out as well. The important thing here at this spot is that we keep the distance, namely 21 to maybe 23 meters. So we cast into this area beyond this tip here, because in this area we have a mussel bed, and that is always a very good sign. So casting onto a mussel bed like that is regularly worth it. And this mussel bed lies here like a banana across the area. And when we cast onto it, then we also regularly have quite good success here at this spot. However, despite all that, we still have to test the flavors every time. So it can very well happen that if you test this here now and also go to the same place with the same flavors, that the fish right now do not feel like strawberry or coconut cream or raspberry. That means test, test, test. Try out which flavor works right now and keep trying until you have found a flavor where the fish are currently into it, what they currently want. The two other important spots, I will also show them again in just a moment. As I said, they are super essential. And if you have these three spots, then theoretically you can fish here the entire day, 24/7. You simply make a rotation from spot 1 to spot 2 to spot 3, and then after that, you start again at the first one. 1 hour at each spot. And in the meantime, the first spot regenerates again, and you can simply start all over again. So, quickly cast out again here with the 21-meter line clip, just like I already said earlier. So 21 meters is what I have set here. And then we have here, as I said, the first spot, that is 55.63. Then of course here at 44.50. Also here, 21 to 23 meters. If at some point you want to use ground bait, then it's best to take 21 meters, because then you can also use the ball ground bait, cast it at maximum distance. It flies to about 20 meters, and then you are still within the effect radius with your bait. Yes, and the third spot is of course down here at 55.31. The spot 55.31 is probably already known by many people, because there the barbel is also active from time to time, or the tench, so that is also worth it in that area. However, only at 17 meters. Why at 17 meters? Because from 17 meters onward, we have muddy or clay bottom, and accordingly the setup must be assembled properly, with the correct colors for the lead core, the lead weight, and the leader. That is also absolutely essential. If you go here with some random standard leaders and weights, then it is also not surprising if you only catch random standard fish. So, if you want to fish for carp, then of course do it properly. And here we continue. So this is a completely crazy situation, completely without ground bait. I'm still really surprised. I will simply keep going here for a while longer. Maybe a nice leather carp will come in soon or something. At the moment, I am already quite satisfied. Nevertheless, I will test a little more in a moment, because for me, only the leather carp is actually interesting here. I still need that one here as a trophy, and then I will already be quite satisfied here. Ah, look! Second time now that a smaller fish bites on the strawberry. That means for me, I replace the strawberry, and now I will maybe simply take crab here, crab. Then here again crab and fish as a flavor, and cast that out again immediately. It does not matter at all. We do not have ground bait in the water that has directed the spot in any direction. Just throw it in. And even if I fish here with the neutral standard carp ground bait, you can still of course test different flavors even with the original carp ground bait. Simply the basic carp ground bait, better than nothing. It pushes the carp type fish a little more, and maybe scares away the fish that we do not want at the spot anyway, and it simply does not stop. Yes, that is how it should be. So come here to Bear Lake. As I said, Bear Lake actually always works. There is almost no day where I go to Bear Lake and catch nothing. Of course, there are special challenges when the water temperatures are set to warm, because then the fish tend to stay more in the deeper areas. But you can figure that out as well. And especially when we have normal water temperatures here, then Bear Lake is practically a gift. For every bottom fisher, exactly the right thing. Come here to Bear Lake, make silver, make percentages, and pull out one fish after another. If this helped you, leave a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, that helps me. And I am still pulling out one fish after another here nicely. Yes, they are even getting bigger now. Just switch to crab, and crab actually works here as well, so it is getting more and more crazy here. One flavor after another tested, and it simply keeps running. That is how it should be. So we will see each other in the next video. Until next time, tight lines.